Today's adventure begins here in Celebration, Florida. As the recording of this, it is Saturday, December 23rd, 2023. This minion is stuck on Christmas, and Christmas Day, by my math, will be in 2 days from this very moment. Most of the houses, a lot of the houses are all adorned with their festive best. Really quite an experience walking through town. This house especially, but many others, not just this one. But this one really does it up really well here at this intersection. Traffic is quite a conundrum this time of year in Celebration, especially because of the snow that is falling downtown and the Christmas tree lighting and meeting Santa and the train and the horse-drawn carriage. It can get very, very busy, and parking is a bunch of nonsense. Welcome everyone, Adam the Woo here. Last night I had the not so pleasurable experience of having my car towed. I don't know if I've ever had my car towed. If I had, it's been a heck of a long time ago. First I thought my car was stolen. Basically they were doing an art walk last night and could not park anywhere near my current apartment. I'm in the process of moving, turning in the keys at the end of the month. And I will show a little bit of the parking situation down there. Now granted, I'll preface this before going into it. I did park in a spot where I guess technically you're not supposed to, but after surveying the situation and the time frame and the amount of people in town, I was thinking it might not make a difference, but I'm here to say it did. My car was towed about 9 miles away over to Orange Blossom Trail. So I ended up, after originally thinking my car had been stolen, I was like, what the heck is going on? And then it was like, maybe my car was towed. Found the tow truck company's name on the side of said parking. Also, there are a few different wrecker services that are around Celebration. So each little area has a contract with certain tow trucks that will come in. Possibly see some of them in action tonight. So ended up having to take an Uber over. The Uber was $35. To get the car out of impound was $175 cash, which I didn't think was too bad. I was expecting it to be a little more than that. Granted, still not in a good time, but I'm going to kind of show you the situation in downtown Celebration and express my thoughts on hopefully next year, or maybe the next couple days. It probably won't change in the next couple days, but a warning to those who are showing up: do not park in a spot unless you are 1,000% confident that you're supposed to be there. He agrees. Join me, shall you? Now over in front of the Catholic Church, this nativity does not have baby Jesus. So what I've heard, certain religions will not put out baby Jesus until Christmas morning. Now some of them do, I would say most of them do. But evidently this is one, or someone has just hopefully not run off with them. So at 6:20 p.m., this is where the parking's already starting to get filled up. This is quite a few blocks from where the snow and everything is happening. And over the next hour or two, it's going to even, you can see there's a couple spots here that are filled up, but I'm still a pretty good chunk of ways. There's not even a reason to attempt to park close to Market Street. I'll show some photos, kind of give a comparison about and explain a little things. And when I get over there, I'll show you what the situation looks like tonight, which is going to be just as hectic, if not hecticer, if that is even a word, than last night. This is one of the several public lots. You can see this truck here. He's parked, and those cars there are parked in a regular parking spot. But you see these cars, they're parked on the grass. Those cars most likely were towed. This car most likely was towed. You can see. So see how it's not really elevated? And I'm not trying to justify the situation at all, but that seems like, you know, if you were going to like a convention or an area where they were like, oh, just park here, you would probably just park right next to where the concrete is, thinking nothing of it. As well as this truck. Granted, again, technically it's not a parking spot, but it's not like it's on the side of a berm or elevated or anything like that. These cars towed. Now here's the regular parking spots. This car here on the end most likely was also towed. Now the parking spot area I parked in was strictly enforced by New Generation Towing. Now notice on this it does not say anything about parking on the grass. So this is the parking lot I usually park in because I live in this little area here. But there is no parking there, so I had to park a couple of the community lots, even though I am a resident of town. In fact, here is a detailed look at exactly where I parked, you can see where it says park car. Even after my car was moved, I still went on my iPhone and it said the car was there, which was very disturbing. I'm like, whoa, it says my car's here, but there's another car parked here, which means my car was moved, and the car that's also parked in my spot was probably towed a little bit later. So this is one of the lots. Now granted, this is a satellite view, so it's not showing what it's going to look like now, but you get the general idea of what the lot looks like. So here's the tow truck company. And when I ended up getting there, talking to the guy that I ended up having to pay, I didn't really have an issue with the towing company because they're just doing their job, even though they're probably, I don't know how it all works. You know, maybe if that certain development here in town is getting a kickback, I don't know, maybe they don't. I don't know how it all works as far as with every car that is towed. Do they get a cut of the money? If not, or do they just have like carte blanche to just pull in and tow whoever they want? And does the towing company keep all the cash? But look at this. This is like an entire cavalcade. They had like at least 3 to 5 wreckers, 3 that were there as I was going to pay the bill that were pulling in. So there's another one pulling in, and these are all the guys were saying, the guys that were getting the cars were saying they're all from Celebration. Like, oh, we're just going to be going back and forth all night. So these cars here were all, you know, obviously it's just me, so it's not big of an issue for me to like head over to Orange Blossom Trail, which isn't exactly the greatest area ever to get a car out of impound. But I can't imagine a family, you know, maybe with a bunch of kids having to wait around while someone goes over there to get their car. I mean, it's just an inconvenience, especially like on Christmas week. But again, you gotta follow them rules. The main thought I have is the fact that they weren't really distinct for that lot. And after I ended up calling the company, the tow truck company, and they kind of explained, hey, if it's on the grass, we tow it. I'm like, okay, I'll come get it. I had to take an Uber over there, walk out of the traffic, get the Uber. I mean, not out of the traffic, but out of downtown a few blocks. That way, I guess that way the Uber would have an easier time getting in here. Took the half-hour ride over there, about $35, $36. Dropped me off. Everything worked out okay. In my mind, I was kind of thinking, oh, if you're not blocking a storefront or a resident or a garage, or if you're not blocking traffic, or if you're not in the road, probably wouldn't be that big of an issue. Obviously, it was. I'm going to show the signage. Make your own decision. But I feel like next year they might need to come up with a different game plan, because this event has gotten so popular, so busy. All of December, especially the week before Christmas, so many people trying to get down here that people just loop around for an hour trying to find parking. Granted, you could park 3, 4, 5 blocks away, which I have no problem doing. I could walk it. A lot of people might not have that ability. So I figure, just throwing it out there, maybe next year there could be a better solution. Maybe bus people in, that might be too big of an issue. But maybe the event has gotten a little too popular. Now we're getting into the nitty-gritty, the belly of the beast, the problem. Now, so where that white car just pulled out is the lot I was parked in. Usually, non-December months, there's a lot of parking over there. It's kind of like a good spot to go to when you don't want to park at the 2 main lots that run parallel to Market Street. You can look on satellite images of Market Street and kind of see the layout. There's 2 main lots, and then there's like 2 or 3 others that are kind of off that. My recommendation, not in December, is to park in the lots that aren't those 2 lots, like the one that would be right over here. Just like that car's pulling in. And I can already see people are circling over here. And I am going to just throw it out there that there are people parked on the grass. I'm guaranteed 100% in my mind that people are parked in the grass and are going to be towed. So I might have to throw some warnings out. And I'm kind of want to like hang around and see how quickly a tow truck can yank a car up and get the heck out of Dodge. So look at this. Now this is a lot that is never utilized. I mean, usually there's never any cars in here, but tons of people are trying to go over here. In fact, it even says parking right here. So see here, the sign does say parking. I'm gonna come back after the edge of the road and see if there's any kind of washboard signs or anything stating do not park on the grass next to a paved spot. I just want to clarify in this particular lot what the signage says. This is not for me. This is for others that could show up. So the event's going to go on tomorrow night. The next night, I think it goes through New Year's. Probably will not be as busy after Christmas Day, but for next year. And this says no parking. That's understandable. No parking there, and no one's parked there. But again, this is a sign right here. It says parking that way and this way. Now a little earlier, I'll check back in an hour or so. This is where last night there were cars parked here all along the grass. I showed that in that photo next to the dumpster. So you see this car's already contemplating, should I park there? See, they're just, people just loop around, circling around. All right, so here we go. First car on the grass. This car will be towed. 100%. Based on my experience last night, tow truck will pull in, this car is going to be towed. So now they get back to this car, their car will be gone. This car here on the grass will be towed. That car on the grass will be towed. This truck, I think is in, now this truck is correctly parked. I'll show exactly where I park. So this truck will not be towed. These two cars will be towed. My car was here on the end, right down here. All right, so this car here is in the grass. This car is in the grass. My car was right here. It was not here, it was right here. You see this one is kind of half on the grass, half on the concrete. This is exactly where it was. So basically what I did is I went and purchased a piece of art at the art walk, parked my car here, went and purchased the art, came back after I was gone probably 30 minutes. Really cool piece of art, I'll show it at some point. Put it in my car, this is not my car, put it in my car, walked back to the art walk for about 20 more minutes. By the time I got back in that 20 minutes, my car that was here was gone. And there was another car already in its spot, waiting for a fresh tow. Bummer. This car will be towed. This car will be towed. This car will be towed. Again, I get it. There are rules. But sometimes I feel like some rules aren't clearly stated. Like in this case, not clearly stated. I've parked in a lot of places, I'm sure this person has as well, that are just like this. You know, where it's like, I could probably just park right next to there. It's level. You're not on like a pipe or anything. You're not like on a berm. You're not elevated. Seems the only difference is that's paved and this isn't. So I don't know. It's a gray area. This one here, not supposed to be parked there. I would have no problem with them parking there if I made the rules, but not blocking anything. Not blocking the flow of traffic or anything like that. Yeah, what do I know? Put my thoughts out there. And this isn't even one of the busy lots. Let me show you like where you're supposed to park. So look at this. This is like, it's like cars imitating vultures through here. Vulturous regions. This is a specific sign. Tow away zone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for unauthorized vehicles. What does that mean? What does that mean? These are all people that are just coming here to see the lights. Tourists most likely, some locals, but mostly just tourists. Now granted, this does say private road through here. Maybe this applies to this. Again, you just look how many more people are pulling into this area. So here's my thoughts. You got this car here, you got that car, you got that car. Well, those two cars, and then the ones around the other side. So if they're left there, granted again, breaking rules, but if they're left there, they're just gonna stay there. But if they're towed, immediately that's gonna be towed, and as soon as the next person that drives by sees the tow truck leave, or doesn't see the tow truck leave, 30 seconds later, another car is gonna pull in and immediately park right there, constituting another tow. More money for the tow truck company and for someone else. Just some of that, just I don't know, just seems wrong to me. I really want to go get a coffee. Okay, so, okay, look at this family right here. Look at this family. I'm gonna go let them know. All right, I informed them, and they said they weren't really 100% sure if they should park there. I said, nope, do not park there. I said, oh, well, there's no signs. A couple older ladies, their daughter. They're waiting for someone to pull out to park in a real spot. It's about a 30-minute drive. For a tow truck driver, has it down to a science to get over here. Let's say 20 minutes to and fro, 5 minutes to drop off, 20, 40, let's say 50 minutes. Be the round trip. They have 3 or 4, so I'll wait another few more minutes just to kind of see. It's also interesting that the closest lot where you can pick up the car that is picked up from here is like 10 miles away, nothing even local. So like way over there on OBT, Orange Blossom Trail. Not the best area, well, just off, like a block off OBT. Not the best area of town, I might add. All right, the consensus of everyone I'm talking to is, well, I didn't think it was that big of a deal to park there. Like this car is parking right there. Yep, definitely gonna get towed. I'm gonna let them know too. All right, I let them know. Told them there was street parking that way to the left. Now here's another family that just parked over here in the same spot. See, all families. I can't just stand out here telling everybody. Can't keep explaining. I'm gonna let them know, and then I guess I just kind of let the wheels run in motion. I don't know if I could just keep standing out here all night letting everybody know. Now here's what's gonna happen. So they warned the other car that's now leaving. But now these cars who do not know are gonna grab those spots thinking that they can park there and that they're leaving. That's exactly what's gonna happen. So those cars are gonna pull right into those who were warned, and they're gonna grab those spots. If they don't, these cars will. No signage. Everyone assume, I'm not the only one assuming that you can park in those spots, because it kind of just does make sense. And just like clockwork, minivan pulling in. See? Now check out this family. They have little blinking lights on their heads. Also, the majority of people I talked to, when I was kind of letting them know don't park, obviously can't tell everybody, because now this person is just actually kind of even stretching off the grass a little bit. It's pretty much said, I figured I would just get a ticket. I didn't think I'd be towed. And I had to share my story. The person really likes honking their horn. All right, just talked to a gentleman and his family. It's like 4 or 5 groups in their family. They parked in the exact same grassy spot that I did. Someone was backing out. They waited, put their blinker on, pulled in, thinking that was the spot, and I let them know. I said, you might not get towed. There might not even be any tow trucks coming through. I'm just letting you know about my experience last night. He goes, oh, I thought I was supposed to park here. Someone was backing out. I go, I made the same mistake last night. Again, the problem is they're gonna leave. Another person's gonna pull in right behind them. I just can't keep continually telling everybody and explaining it. I think some people don't even believe me. No. The problem is all of downtown parking is full, every spot, and only 2% of people are leaving right now, and 50 times that amount of people are arriving. So people just keep circling around, circling around, circling around, circling around, circling around, to no avail. I will show this sign, this washboard, going into there. So that's where the lot where I parked last night, where I was just showing. So it's kind of confusing. It just says no unauthorized vehicles beyond this point. It doesn't say where you park. It says all unauthorized vehicles will be towed. And I think the signs that make the most sense are over here. Also, mobile ordered Starbucks. I'm gonna go grab a Starbucks. Then I'll walk back over there and see what happens. The signs over here and these lots designate that you have to stay between the lines. So I kind of feel like they need to move one of these washboard signs over to the other lot. So this right here makes total sense. I feel like it needs to be in that other lot also, and it's not. Parking permitted in line space only, towaway zone. That makes sense. So if you're parking on the grass over here, it's clearly designated that that's not allowed. A couple weeks ago, the event started getting kind of busy. They had some officers out here directing traffic, but tonight, which is even busier than it was that night, there's none. Look at this. What a monstrosity. Look at this. Look at... What is this supposed to do? Oh, I guess you can't. Not yet. I was waiting. I'm waiting for him. The luck of the draw. See, they knew about the tow trucks. This has been a public service announcement, I guess, of sorts. Kind of, sort of. Even though it didn't, I wasn't able to show it, an example of it, other than photos I had from last night and talking about my experience. But that's gonna do it for today. The hustling, bustling downtown of Celebration of Florida. Christmas time. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas that's happening in a couple days. Always remember, horses have the right of way. That's gonna do it for today. I'll see you in the next video. The vlog is over.